September 4th, 2019. My name is Eric Haluzik with All Corners Home Inspections. My OC number is 1698. As with all the videos in this report, we request that you view this video as supplemental to the written version of the report to which this video has been attached. An Oregon home inspection does not include a roof warranty, meaning we make no claims as to this roof's ability to keep water out of the ceiling voids and attic spaces for the living space below. There are companies which will offer such services. Again, Oregon home inspectors are specifically forbidden from offering such insurance policies. There are a number of challenges with this single-family home's gable-style roofline. We'll do our best to detail those challenges here. First challenge we'll identify is that we have a number of areas around this skylight which have been treated with a mastic or caulking material. This is considered an appropriate temporary measure, bridging the gap in time between the time you can get a roofer on site to get this properly flashed and sealed. Again, caulking is a good temporary measure for a roof line. However, it's not appropriate for a long-term solution. Speaking of caulking, the step flashing between the sidewall of the structure and the roof line itself is installed improperly at its uppermost terminus. At this location here, you can see that we have a bead of caulk sealing the top edge of this sidewall flashing. That flashing should be tucked behind the previous course of siding. So in the case of this piece of siding here, this flashing should be nested behind this course of siding, preventing any organic movement of water behind this portion of flashing and into the interior living space. The condition is significantly more challenging at these locations here. At the underside of this overhang, an argument can be made that there's not going to be a tremendous amount of water accumulating here. However, in high snow events, snow will accumulate in these areas, build up, and then water can accumulate and drain down into the interior portion of this living space. We'd recommend evaluation and reinstallation of this flashing behind the siding by a licensed contractor. The ridge line at the front portion of the structure is sagging. We'll do our best to try and identify what kind of remedy there might be, or if there is some kind of a challenge on the interior portion of this living space. But again, we'll make a note of that here. We are not venturing on to this steeper section or higher section because it's wet on the day of the inspection. It would pose too much of a threat to the inspector. We'd recommend the installation of gutters at the rear portion of the structure. We realize that those are fairly short sections of roof line, shedding sort of a small to moderate amount of water. However, it would be in our best interest to have that sort of section, every section of this roof line shed its water properly away from the roof. Again, you can kind of see that mastic that's been applied to both the ridge as well as the areas around both the chimney as well as skylight. Finally, the proximity of the chimney to this skylight is not advisable. If you open this skylight, it is an operable skylight. If you open this skylight with the chimney burning, you will have a backdraft or a negative pressure effect on the interior portion of the living space, sucking smoke into the interior of the home. We'd recommend relocating either the chimney or the skylight accordingly. I guess I should actually say finally. There is a plumbing vent here at the directly adjacent to the right-hand side, directly adjacent to the ridge line at the rear portion of the property. You can see here, which has been capped. We have not ventured onto the interior portion of the living space, but we'll make sure to make note of any plumbing that might be at this location, as capped-off plumbing will prevent sewer gases from escaping through this pipe and will more than likely trap the sewer gases in the interior portion of the living space. This has been Eric Haluzik with All Corners Home Inspections.